So at this point, I've been in Maui for just about a month, right? And I got a job at this ice cream shop, and then I also had another job working at a hat store, right? Not sleeping on the beach anymore. The dude who owned the ice cream shop, cool ass old Canadian dude named Len, right? Dude really like looked out for me, right? He had a old work van, like a big Ford Econoline that he sold me. Put a platform in the back, with a mattress to sleep on, And so I'd like drive around, I'd like surf at different spots, and I'd, just park it somewhere and sleep, right? So I'm good at this point, right? I'm chilling, bro. I got, making more money than I need to make. I'm smoking and chilling, surfing, right? Just living the beach bum life, right? And it's interesting because I was reading something, and apparently like at the exact same age, Chris Pratt, the actor, was like living in the same town in a van, surfing and smoking, right? And I thought that was like a interesting like parallel of this like super famous person did like the exact same thing as me, right? So, I'm doing the beach bum thing. I'm working in this ice cream shop, and one day, man, this girl walks in, and to this day, right, even though, I've seen a lot of beautiful women since then, right, man, this girl was one of the most beautiful things I'd ever seen in my life, man. She had the blonde hair, the blue eyes, the, kind of tan skin, right, like, the boobs, just everything, man. She was just like perfect looking, right? And like I said, I'm 18 at this point, and I think she was 17, right? And she came in with her mom, and they had just like got some milkshakes, right? And we're kind of sitting there talking, and I just looked right at her mom, and I said, "Yo, your daughter is gorgeous, and I'm about to ask her out if that's okay, right? Because mom's there, be respectful to mom." And mom kind of looked at me like, and then they kind of looked at each other like, and then the mom looked back at me, and the girl looked at me, and then the mom was like, "Yeah, go ahead," right? And so I, just kind of looked at her. I was like, "Yo, kind of busy right now, but just let me get your number and I'll call you, right?" So she gives me her number, and then I go about my day. I got busy, so I didn't call her, right? Next day, Shorty comes in by herself, right, to get another milkshake, right? But really, it was just like, she was like, "Oh, he didn't call. Let me, go in and make sure he didn't forget about me," right? And so we, you know, talk for a minute and, kind of conversate a little bit. And then I just, like, ask her, you know, like, I ask her for when she's free, and I name a place and a time and, a day. And then, you know, go on about my day. I think it was like 2 days later, right? I think it was a Friday, right? So she shows up, right, early, which tripped me the fuck out, because I had been on plenty of dates before this, never had a girl show up early, right? She was like 5-10 minutes early, right? She's dressed hot. She's wearing this like romper that like showed off her ass, and wasn't wearing a bra and shit, right? I don't think she was. I can't remember, right? And we meet, we start walking, and within a few seconds, she just grabs my hand, right? And so here I am, and I'm walking, and man, that feeling when you're walking with a chick and you're holding hands and you're just like, bro, I am with the hottest woman on the planet right now. Like, there's nothing that beats that feeling, right? So we're walking, and I think we had walked around for a little bit, went and got like some gelato or something. And then we went to dinner at this place called Cool Cat Cafe, right? It's a dope spot. And we're talking, and I'm just sitting there. I'm not really saying much because I'm just like letting her talk, and I'm just like, yeah, right. Just like, for the most part, just trying not to say something stupid, right? And as we're walking out of the restaurant, right, I just couldn't take it anymore, right? So I grab her hand and I pull her over and I kiss her, right? You know, we're making out in front of the restaurant, right? And then, you know, we go on a walk again, you know, we walk down to the beach and just talk some more, you know, and, you know, it's 3 hours into the date. And what was interesting is that, like, I came to Maui from Oregon, and then her and her mom had just moved there from Oregon, right? And so that was like, boom, instantly, you know, there's like a connection there, right? And within like, you know, 3 hours of being on this date, she's already saying shit like, you know, yeah, we should, you know, we should like, you know, take a trip back there sometime and, you know, go here and go there. And she's already like talking about, you know, wanting to, you know, do shit in the future, right? And, you know, at this point, man, I'm on cloud nine. I am gone, right? And, you know, so we go back, you know, we get in my van and we start fooling around a little bit, right? And right, like, as I had the romper off, right? Nothing but panties, you know, between me and the promised land, right? Uh, bleh, 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 right? She ignores it. A couple seconds later, bleh, 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 mom's calling, right? So mom calls her, you know, and, you know, mom said something about, like, you know, I need my car back or something, right? I need to go somewhere, right? And so I'm like, all right. So I go and I drop her off at her car, and, like, as she's getting out of the car, right? And this is, like, looking back, this is, like, the pivotal, like, moment where I fucked up, right? Who knows how my life would have been if I hadn't, like, fucked this particular moment up, right? As she's getting out of the car, she says, I'd really like to see you again. You know, what are you doing this week, right? I knew what I was doing that week, which was not a lot, right? I knew every moment that I had free, but in my trying to, like, play it cool and, like, you know, not come across as needy or something, right? I lied and I said I didn't know when I was free and that I would, you know, call her, right? And, like, the instant that I said that, she was kind of like, oh, and then got out, right? And then I waited like 3 days and I called her, right? And, you know, when I talked to her on the phone, like, she sounded kind of sad, right? And then I, like, asked her for a time and place to get together, and she said, yeah, okay, I'll be there, right? And then she stood me up, right? And, you know, part of it was just like, you know, when you, like, are having, like, a connection like that and you, like, try to play it too cool, right? And you're trying to like, not show someone that, like, you're as excited about them as they are about you, then it'll actually get them, like, discouraged, right? And so it's like, that was one of those things where, like, most guys, they, like, are trying too hard and trying to move things along too fast, whereas me, I was, like, trying to slow things down so much, you know, because I used to be one of those guys that, you know, friggin', I ended up going too far the opposite way, and she thought that, you know, I just didn't really, like, give a fuck, right? So it was like, you know, that was but it was still, like, it was a great experience because, you know, that happened to me early in life. That happened when I was like 18, right? And so it's like, you know, ever since then, I've never ever dated a chick for more than one date who wasn't, like, that excited to see me, right? Like, if I go out with a chick and it's not, like, that level of excitement, then I just really don't want it, right? Like, you know, the way I met baby mom, she literally, we worked together and she handed me her number and, you know, was, like, excited to see me, you know? So that's like an important, like, life lesson that I learned was, like, you know, do not ever waste your time going out with a chick who's not, like, really, really excited about going out. Like, you should be able to look and see the excitement on her face. You should see that she's excited to, talk to you. You should hear it in her voice that she's excited to, just be talking to you, right? Like, you guys could do nothing. You could go sit down at a park bench and have a date, and she's gonna be excited to be there just because she's into you that much, right? Like, that's what you want. Don't settle for this bullshit where like you can't even like get her on the phone, or like you text her and she fucking texts you back like in 5 hours or the next day or a couple days later with like a 2-word response, right? Like, don't put up with none of that shit, bro. Like, the only chicks that you should really be spending your time with are the ones that are really excited to see you and be around you, so don't ever fucking settle for bullshit, so I'm out.